that is the staff sergeant in charge of the bicycle guys, the guys in the yellow jackets.
Yeah, I've seen them. We passed them earlier.
They do all the demonstrations.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you really don't need that.
Bicycles and demonstrations.
Yeah, the thing we have to do, the thing we have to try and stop. People have the right to go inside, right?
No, we weren't stopping. We were walking the door.
Let me talk.
Okay, sorry.
The thing to do is get a reasonable expectation of enjoying their civil rights as to be able to, if it's a religion, if it is, they're going there for their health or that's their purpose, right?
Oh yeah.
Expectation of people attending.
Reasonable expectation of them having not to be even verbally harassed.
No, we were just standing there. Yeah. We're mute basically.
Thing that would throw a wrench into the works is the mask. Okay, that is a form of intimidation.
Kept walking.
When the policeman came up to you, what did you say?
That was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I have forgotten. I don't have a good memory.
Did you actually report being stalked or being?
I think so.
Did you?
I think so, but I don't remember. I don't have a good short-term memory.
Okay. Well, 4 years ago, that's more long-term, don't you think?
I usually forget.
Okay.
I wish I could remember, honestly.
What did they say?
All right, well, I remember David Love answering that. So basically what I understand, David Love is a gentleman in Montreal who also independently and privately does his own protests on his own. And we do exchange correspondence from time to time. His statement from his own research is that it's part of the Charter and Rights and Freedoms. We have a right to peaceful protest without intimidating, without anybody feeling intimidated, and without being verbally harassing, but including the right to wear a mask during the protest, as far as I understand, is a right. He's not doing anything. He's not vandalizing any property. He's not saying anything. Yeah, you said that by your description of the mask was that it was intimidating.
Could be. I said could be interpreted as intimidating.
Could be interpreted.
Because if someone was to go into the building there for whatever purpose they're going in there, what's that guy in the mask doing out there?
I believe I spoke with a gentleman who, if I get it correct, I think it sounded like Sergeant Brown. And he said that this is at 52 Division, the call center, the 808-5200.
No call center there.
Or I spoke to the receptionist and I was transferred to what she said upstairs. And he said, I told him it was me and another gentleman, we were going to make some noise, but we weren't going to be instigating anything or talking to people directly, we're just going to be stating facts loudly. And he said that as long as we know and we're not doing anything wrong, he sort of said he's deputizing us, sort of semi-humorously, but he expected us to keep the peace, and we promised to him that we would. So that's the person we originally talked to.
Sergeant Brown personally.
Okay, so then so I have the name correct, and I called him probably 20 minutes ago. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that neither one of us had notified police, so when we got here, we called and notified, and then he said that he expects us to keep the police. Now, I understand that I did forget to mention that my friend was wearing a mask, and that's because I'm used to it. I'm not intimidated at all, and I understand that he is very serious concerns. In fact, you may want to turn around because there is somebody in the doorway there.
Oh, I got my face online. Nice talk.
I'll stand in front of you anyways, just because I know that you want to be respected to have your rights to privacy. So I'll just sort of block any potential photography equipment.
Adam.
Yeah.
Taping.
Okay, good.
I did that as soon as you came across here.
Good.
That's why I had to cover the light. You can't even see it now.
I have to remember to get my driver's license guy.
Where were you born? Okay. What's your address?
And I've lived in that area.
What, sir?
I've lived in that area since Hazel Brown. I believe I'm 5.
Thanks, okay.
But what's
about 120
is that he knew we were there and that he expected us to follow all the laws. And I did promise him that we would follow all the laws.
110.
We post anyone in
the manner right here on this side of the road. Okay.
Right.
What's the number, sir?
The cell phone number is
the Burmese people that Burma? Yeah. They came over and they're protesting.
That was a large protest to Occupy. That was large.
Doesn't make any difference. Not Occupy. Not us.
I know. If it was Occupy, it would be different. The whole street would be covered.
You're going to do what you're doing. You do it on this side so they can't say that you obstruct anyone from getting in.
Yes, officer. We do not want to obstruct anyone or directly confront anyone. There was a gentleman who came out and confronted us to notify us that we were talking, that they had notified police. And all we said back, I responded by saying, yes, we've already notified police ourselves to the call center. That's it. We did not make any confrontations with anyone. People who were walking.
Adam, where are you born? Toronto?
Toronto.
How tall are you?
Personally, I smiled at the guy. I gave him a thumbs up.
You're probably better than I am. I haven't measured my height in a while.
What was it last time you were
I know, it's kind of hard, but I had a cheerful voice. I always, I try not to sound as depressing as I am. I try to sound very cheerful. I asked him how, I don't remember if I asked him how his day doing. I don't remember if I was asking him how his day was.
You caught me.
But what if you're simply walking up the street and they try to confront you? I get that occasionally.
What color?
Even without the mask.
Well, that's something you're going to have to judge. Sometimes people just don't like the way people look.
Yeah. I simply just walk past and I don't say nothing.
That's it?
Oh, I just say, have a great day, sir. Or ma'am, or whoever it is. Yeah.
Okay.
About I can't really explain the fair game too well. It's what they currently use to. They currently use the fair game policy to try to.
Yeah, they have actually a policy written by the founder, L. Ron Hubbard, which states that anybody who's considered, who Scientology declares himself to be an enemy of, can be tricked, sued, harassed, damaged to property. They get pretty fanatic when they perceive, or they have been manipulated to perceive they have an enemy, when in fact all we are are peaceful demonstrators. And that's part of the concern. It's part of why my
friends. What are you demonstrating?
We are demonstrating basically the facts or information that we've read about court cases and situations where they have caused harm to families. The Church of Scientology, as it functions internationally, the various things that we are concerned about are policies of disconnection, fraudulent activity that involves demanding large sums of money from their members. They claim to have some science. They do some medical malpractice. Most recently, a drug rehabilitation facility run by Scientologists in Quebec called Narconon has been shut down because it was shown that their non-scientific methods were actually dangerous to recovering drug addicts who can be considered persons with a handicap.
Okay, so Sergeant said just don't obstruct anybody. Keep the mask off. It's in your best interest, right?
Okay.
Turn it around. Still see it in the back there, right? So it's the same idea, right? You get your point across.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy, okay?
My understanding, officer, to make sure there's no misunderstanding, is that the gentleman who is with me intends to put his mask back on, but does not plan to intimidate anyone. So is that going to cause any further issues?
But, okay, everything's an interpretation by the person who perceives it.
I understand. I'm sure they perceive us to
No,
be very deadly people.
No. All they just want you is to keep your distance. And
That's what we're doing.
Understood.
We're already
now
Our
the
distance, but
now the thing is, what did they say about explaining?
it could be interpreted as
Yes,
intimidation.
that is correct.
And my friend is happy to explain to anybody who feels intimidated
Well,
the reasons why.
because you're going to come back. Do you want another policeman to come back? Because
I think that would be inconvenient to you greatly.
That's
and
right.
I think I want to
That's
avoid
right.
it.
If because I am working till midnight tonight.
All right.
So that means past your 4 o'clock. That's when you said.
Yeah.
If there's another call here with regards to anything, with dealing with these people or with you people, you will be moved along if nothing more seriously has been any more evidence of anything serious. You understand?
Understood.
Do not, because it's a waste of resources. Do you understand me?
I understand. You must also understand this is an organization which is infamous for using the law, manipulating officers such as yourself in order to further their own ends.
Well,
and one of the things that they are interested in furthering their own ends is they really do not want legal facts about them to be divulged.
Mr. Holland?
So that's what we face against.
And then
they will use you in some ways that you won't like to try and silence any criticism, any rational criticism
what steps
of the organization.
have you taken?
Well, I used to be a Scientologist myself. I was recruited to live and work for 2 years. The psychological damage that ensues from my decision no longer to be a member of Scientology, which pretty much constituted my identity as a person, my integrity, the fact that my father, who I lived with all of my life, was ordered to never have any contact with me again as soon as they perceived me to be an enemy. It's been devastating, and I've been living for the past 5 years with serious depression. I'm actually looking at trying to start some medication for that. So it's been very rough and it's been very difficult.
They could just show me that's up there.
Overpowered because
you've never thought of
Oh yeah, I know. I admire it.
looking.
I do daily video blogs on the internet, so
I have.
I'm not really concerned. I could have protested the photo mask easily. I've been thinking of doing that since Cambridge.
When you have a tragedy in your life.
Not to mention Cambridge, even though it's small, it's just like Toronto.
Maybe
it's a great city.
That have coped better with their transition.
I like Toronto better anyway. They got more bicycle paths.
Your citizens, yes, okay. Maybe they have some insight that could assist you.
One of the things that affects us coping is protest.
If you think that something that is illegal, then you should be taking the proper steps.
It's things that I believe are illegal, and unfortunately, I wish I was in a better mental state to pursue some sort of recourse or some investigations, and that's why there are other people who are working on this that aren't emotionally damaged. I really am not capable of working even at this present time. It's very difficult for me to pursue anything other than I at least can feel empowered by being out here and warning innocent people about the potential dangers of being recruited into that kind of a mind control situation. That's empowering. But as far as executing any kind of a larger program or legal recourse, I've just not been emotionally really in the shape to do it. That's unfortunate. There's other people who are looking into that.
Okay, you understand this is something to assist you in this.
Very much, I know. I wish I was in better shape to be able to do something.
The more you are an organ, the more you're an organ, in the sense that the times that you either go to here, to this location, or to one on Young Street, and it doesn't really assist your cause. It may assist you personally. It doesn't, if you have a cause, it doesn't assist your cause. Because we have a tendency not to think of you as being as serious if you're just doing it as an individual. Because if you have a plan is better. You understand?
I understand, officer, and it's only, like I said, been on account of my emotional difficulty. I have been in a Maclean's magazine article of October 2012. I've been on the CFRB 1010 radio show in 2010. Wherever I get a chance. I've gotten the word out to tens or hundreds of thousands of people about my concerns, about things that Canadians don't even know is happening inside Scientology. And that's the first step. If the Canadians don't even know what's going on, they're not going to take any action about it. And we actually have educated a lot of people, even walking down Yonge Street, who didn't know some of the things that I've witnessed personally that they do. And that's the first step. If all Canadians were educated into what Scientology did, I think that a lot of their acts would become illegal and then banned very short time. But unfortunately, we face a major obstacle, and that most Canadians, it doesn't affect them until they lose a loved one to it. And that's why nobody's taking action right now. It's because it's out of sight, out of mind. But when you lose your daughter or when you lose your son to this and you're never going to see them again for the rest of your life, or in my case, I've lost my dad. He's in there right now. But in his mind, I'm an evil person. I'm an evil being. And the only reason I'm out here is because I disagree with what I personally witnessed. And that's really tough. And even if I'm doing it in an inefficient way, the least I'm doing is something as opposed to nothing. And it's been very difficult just to arrange something.
Everything's up to an interpretation too, okay? So, you're here?
Yeah, the other side of the street.
Good enough.
Okay?